Grey's Anatomy frequently takes pleasure in being a medical drama that is reasonably scientifically realistic. Grey's Anatomy strives to keep the viewer rooted in its realistic narratives, in contrast to its peers, such as Chicago Med and New Amsterdam, who aim to elevate their tales to new heights. However, some viewers feel that the popular medical drama has gone too far in recent years, and now gives its physicians complete freedom to do as they choose. In addition to disregarding the Hippocratic Oath, many of these physicians devote more of their time to resolving personal issues. The show's boldness in exposing the darker aspects of contemporary healthcare, however, is what makes it so amazing. Many fans, however, concur that some of Grey Sloan's top physicians ought to have been expelled long ago. Meredith Grey has made several deadly mistakes in addition to engaging in insurance fraud and having sexy affairs with a few co-workers. When she revives a DNR patient in Season 2, her friends and family are completely appalled. In Season 4, she also empties her mother's ashes down a hospital sink, which is heartbreaking but very unsanitary. As a result, Meredith Grey appears to be exempt from criticism due to her extensive network and role as the protagonist. Many of her colleagues have elevated her throughout the last 20 seasons, guaranteeing that she would not face any repercussions. On the other hand, Meredith Grey appears to be immune to falling out of favor, regardless of how many mistakes she makes. Because of the way Preston Burke treated Christina at the altar on their wedding day, many Grey's Anatomy viewers already harbor a deep dislike for him. However, in spite of his great standing at Grey Sloan, he had accrued a number of infractions that might result in his termination. Permits George O'Malley to perform an appendectomy in a hard day's night, even though he is completely unprepared for it. O'Malley was therefore made fun of for being the first intern to come dangerously close to killing his patient. Curiously, Burke did not acknowledge leaving a towel inside a patient for 5 years. Burke's seniority probably contributed to his prolonged tenure. In no time, he was mentoring the first round of magic interns, so other surgeons didn't have to deal with them. But one might equally claim that Burke's careless work was inherited by the subsequent generation of interns. Izzy Stevens put several patients and staff members in danger throughout her brief tenure at the hospital. Even though she was fired in Season 6, she had many sexual encounters in the hospital in addition to cutting Denny Duquette's LVAD to move him up the transplant list. Even worse, she wrecked everything when she was eventually given some authority. In Season 4, for instance, she made her interns tend to a deer that had suffered severe injuries in a car collision. Many admirers feel sorry for Izzy in spite of all of her shortcomings. In Season 5, Episode 17, I Will Follow You Into the Dark, she received a Stage 4 cancer diagnosis, forcing both her peers and the viewers to face her death. However, Stevens made a crucial dose error that forced her to leave the hospital permanently because of severe financial shortages at Seattle Grace. Ben Warren is most familiar to audiences from the Grey's Anatomy spin-off series Station 19. Warren did, however, also serve a brief period at Grey Sloan, which resulted in a temporary suspension in There's a Fine, Fine Line, the 18th episode of Season 12. Ben performs an emergency cesarean section on a pregnant patient without the necessary surgical tools. Warren's actions were regarded as very obsessive, despite the fact that he was clearly facing a serious moral issue. A surgeon would have been fired for such actions at any other facility. Warren was instead placed on 6-month probation, although he was still permitted to serve as an attending anesthesiologist at the hospital. Once more, it appears that Warren's bond with Miranda Bailey is the reason the authors won't let him go. Therefore, even if he committed those wrongdoings in good faith, it appears that he is exempt from any kind of long-term repercussions. Jo Wilson's heartbreaking past and resolute nature enthralled spectators. However, she revealed a patient's sensitive information because of her friendship with Alex Kerv. Kerv did have a right to know, since the patient was, after all, his father. However, small things like these might cause a lot of problems for a medical expert. Additionally, in Head Over High Heels, she shows up for work intoxicated and even conceals alcohol in her water bottle. Fans frequently overlook a character's careless errors, particularly when they are experiencing emotional difficulties. However, viewers were irritated with Jo since she was unable to control herself. Audiences were therefore irritated that she merely made things worse with her drinking, while her entire life was collapsing around her. Lexi Gray is ranked midway on our list because, all things considered, she is the most innocent of the physicians mentioned thus far. However, she had to bring in 2 senior physicians to save Sadie Harris's life because of their friendship. In the Midnight Hour, the 9th episode of Season 5, Harris persuades Lexi and many other interns to perform an appendectomy on her. However, Gray is compelled to enlist Meredith and Christina to help Sadie survive as her blood pressure falls. Despite her intense sorrow about almost murdering her best friend, Lexi escapes serious repercussions. She is placed on probation by Meredith, who won't let her inside the operating room until she has proven herself to be a trustworthy intern. Because of this, many people think that Lexi was fortunate to escape this situation. Stephanie Edwards had a great deal of trauma when she was in the hospital. Much like some of her predecessors, she had a lot of mental upheaval when Heather Brooks passed away because she found it difficult to deal with her loss. However, everything seemed to have reached a climax in Leave It Inside. Stephanie smacks her iPad against the wall and walks out after having trouble communicating with a parent. Thankfully, her supervisors quickly sought assistance after seeing that she was exhibiting symptoms of resident burnout. But Stephanie's behavior was totally inappropriate, particularly in front of a sick youngster. As a result, many fans believe that her peers were too forgiving of her and that, rather than offering her support, she ought to have been punished for her inappropriate behavior. When April Kepner initially appeared on Grey's Anatomy in Season 6, she participated in a wide range of gripping plotlines. However, she almost murdered a patient and a colleague physician in Season 14. She unintentionally slices her patient's ear lobe in Games People Play, causing a bloody stream. Andrew DeLuca, her classmate, stumbles in a pool of blood and sustains a concussion when he rushes in to attempt to save the day. Despite the fact that this is one of Grey's Anatomy's funniest scenes, many viewers find Kepner's lack of professionalism incomprehensible. First of all, she severed a patient's ear lobe without alerting anybody around to the possible risks. Thus, many viewers feel that April should have done more to manage the situation, even if she wasn't solely to blame for this tragedy.